I find having animals a wonderful experience. In the last year I've adopted chickens and piglets. I've been very tested in that time as well. I've learned a lot about myself, but I've been tested. As much as they're part of nature, they interact with nature and nature interacts with them. The chickens will scratch around, particularly in compost and vegetable beds, trying to find food. They also seem to be quite tasty for a lot of things out there that want to eat them. Pigs will try and break out of their enclosure at every possible opportunity to try and feast off your prized growing vegetables and fruit trees. This video is about that first year of keeping animals, the trials, tribulations, the lessons that I've learned, and also the building of a chicken coop that was very generously funded by two of my wonderful volunteers.
Good. Yep. Perfect.
So how's the build of the chicken coop going, Dan?
It's going good. It's going splendid. Housing is in this area, and this is the cage, kind of. It's gonna be 2 doors. You can open up. That is because if you want to clean the coop.
Okay, so this is our initial design. Now things change, I guess, as we're building it and as we're going along. We're making some adaptations here and there. But I guess from the drawing versus what we've got at the moment, we've got all of the kind of framework done. The next step in the build is to do all of the feet. So the feet needs to be rebarred into the ground and concreted over, you know, and built up on top so that they stay stable. And we will do like a skirt that goes the whole way around, I guess, the boundary, the bottom of the coop, comes down, and that comes out away from the coop. It'll be submerged about 10 centimeters or so. We definitely need to do a little bit of, I guess, leveling and building over on top of that.
And why is it important to do that?
So it definitely needs to be a good bit away from the coop, out maybe 40-50 centimeters away from the coop, and that's to stop other animals from digging and burying and getting under and coming into the coop and eating chickens and or their eggs or their chicks. So it's to protect them from predators like this guy.
The thing is, you don't want the door to be scrambling in the wind like we have now. You can feel it's very stable. That is because of I made a door in a little angle. You can see that now. So if you don't do it in an angle, you're gonna have this scrambling thing.
And that's all on purpose. That's a design feature. It's a design feature. Yeah.
So now when you lock it there, look at this double lock. Super nice. And up. And check there and there. Then open up. And there you go. Super nice. Yes?
Super nice.
Okay, so at the moment we are pulling back all of this ground to make this level. So we can lay this down here, cover it over, lay it flat, and then we're going to cover everything back over again.
How many chickens you planning on having in there?
We're gonna collect 8 of them tonight, and then we're gonna have a rooster later on. So 9 in total for now, and then we will see. It's double isolated. Is it isolated or double isolated?
It's insulated with the roofing there. We've got insulation. What about on the inside? What does it look?
We did a little stairway here. Easily come in with the wheelbarrow, so you can put the wheelbarrow there. That's the idea, and then you can clean out directly into the wheelbarrow.
Yeah.
And this you can open as well. Hopefully we get some eggs, and then we can feed them here. We have some chickens. You're very calm.
Hello, girls.
Welcome.
They're so cute.
They're super soft. Welcome. You too.
You meeting the chickens, Toki?
Yeah. They're like, what's going on?
Yeah, where are we? They're just staying in a line,
Yeah.
waiting to enter the club.
I am so grateful to both Daniel and Maria for funding the build and taking the time to make this beautiful home for the chickens. It wasn't long before I decided that the chickens could do with some company of other animals. So I decided to pair up the chicks with kuni pigs, knowing that they'd be able to chew up some of the grass on the land, give me lots of poop, eat up any leftovers, as well as protecting the chickens. Hello, Mikey. Hello, Chunk. I think, like most people, we were bowled over with their undeniable cuteness, but I soon discovered how much of a handful they really are. The pigs are essentially greedy as they come. They're also very good escape artists. Yes, Chunk. No, you've just had all. You just had all of it. It was after one of their escapades that both of them came back quite sick. Unfortunately, Mikey had some terrible seizures and unfortunately died. I knew how to create something that contained the pigs to be where I wanted them to be, so I worked on making this enclosure. Digging these fence posts in the ground, using this metal rebar to create a gate, and then fencing the whole area off around the existing chicken coop, I was quite confident of being able to keep them in this space and keeping them happy. With Chunk being all on his own, he was looking for me quite a lot and we became quite close. He was like a puppy, really. I decided he needed another picking up for company, and that's where Frodo came into the picture. Oh, Chunk, so rough. Yes, that's right, you are. For several months it was really nice just spending time with them, especially during summer because it was too hot to do building work, and we'd just chill out beside the river together. Why are you wearing that bucket, Chunk? When the rains came in autumn, it softened up the ground so much that the pigs were able to easily dig out their enclosure. Then they went on to raid and destroy the vegetable garden, snap fruit trees in half, raid in the kitchen. Their behaviour became intolerable, and I didn't have the money or the time to invest in a more secure place for them to be. I couldn't leave them either to go and make the money, so I had to make the very difficult decision to give them to another home. Luckily, I found somewhere pretty quickly, and that's where they are now, in a nice, loving home. Life's just a lot simpler with only the chickens. They spend their time foraging on the lower terrace and alongside the river, and the feeding times fit in nicely with my routine. Would you like your dinders? Burp, 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 burp. And the chickens, they're just laying so many eggs. I can't eat all of them, so I give them away to friends, maybe as a bit of a trade for other things, and when people want to buy them I sell them, which helps pay for the chicken feed. It's a lovely circular economy there. And the thing I see is that as much as nature gives, it also takes. One morning when I was filming my daily routines video, I came across this. First time chicken had been killed inside the coop. That was a shock to the system. Are you right? Looking all the way around the base of the coop, I was trying to find any sign of something getting in. And what I found was, right at the back, something had chewed a hole through the wire. it's always been hard to come to terms when an animal or anything dies unexpectedly. Particularly so is because these beings are who I spend most of my time with. Well, she came from the earth, so she's gone back to the earth. I've buried her underneath a tree, which is in the food forest. Nature challenges, it tests. That's how things evolve, right? That's how things become strong and learn to survive. Well, the test here was to make the chicken coop into a fortress so nothing could get in and bother the chickens again. And I felt that that required something very sturdy. Well, I'm all about recycling and repurposing old materials. All these pallet wood panels are left over from my superadobe project, so I'm putting them to good use to keep the chickens safe. Oh, sorry, chicken. She's laying an egg there. Alright, so after my battery died last night, I was able to get the rest of this side done. Now, just for the back side of the chicken coop, let's crack on and do it. Good morning, girls. Not pretty, but hopefully it does the job. Don't think anything's getting through there. I tried to keep the gaps quite close. I'm not really sure the abilities of this animal. I think it was a pine marten or a mink. But either way, it's pretty small. So I'm hoping the size of this, hoping this will work. Also offer the chickens some shade in summer with the breeze flowing through. You know, the funniest thing with all of this built and all of this in place, the thing that the chickens like the most is this roosting perch that I've made out of a pine branch. Crazy, huh? Good night, girls. Have a good sleep. I really enjoy the companionship and presence of these chickens. They're always so inquisitive, looking to scratch around, make the most of whatever it is me or volunteers doing, whether it's digging, planting, sawing, or even having a haircut. I've learned a lot from this experience, and I think if I was to do this again, I would probably build something very, very basic for the chickens. Something that simply got the job done and protecting them and giving them a place to roost and lay their eggs. Then observe how the chickens interacted with whatever I made. If necessary, then build something more optimum, but only if necessary. I think this is a good way to go about any kind of design when you don't really know how to do, you haven't had the experience of what it's like to do this particular thing. Make something in a very basic way and then see how nature responds. Right, simple, right? Because nature has it handled out there. With that being said, thank you, Daniel and Maria, for putting your money, consideration and a lot of effort into building this chicken coop. It's a beautiful home for the chickens. They're happy and I'm very, very grateful. But one thing's for sure, having animals is such a joyful thing. I'm really glad I have them. That's all from me for now. I'll see you on the next time.